Okay, so Rajat, what I did here is we have created a level. It can be used as a sub level for neutral lighting for artists. They just need to use
Okay.
this lighting. They can remove this cube cyclorama stuff that we have in the background, which will allow them to have a very color corrected asset colors inside the scene itself. So in this case, you can see
Okay.
I've adjusted the directional lighting and the skylighting values specifically to a value where I can get a nice. So I am getting a
Okay.
nice around 0.18 gray, and this is a reflective
Mm.
ball. So this one to me was
Okay.
a 50% gray on sRGB scale, which is eventually on the
Mm-hmm.
linear 0.18. Okay, so I
Okay.
ended up referencing everything from this guy's video, Ryan Manning.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so I ended up creating the same set that he has created in his scene. I
Okay.
took liberty to have our own values on directional light and skylight. End result is eventually you need to get this 18% gray, sorry, 50% gray ball as 0.18, 0.18, 0.18. So you can see here
Okay.
RGB
Yeah, yeah, I
values.
can see that.
So we
Yeah.
have a pixel inspector and it says 0.18. So I'm quite happy with how it has come out here.
And did you do any, testing regarding the numbers, fixing number?
Yes,
Because you mentioned
so
about directional light.
So yes, for that, what you have to do is you have to go in your HDR adaptation. Okay. So this
Okay.
center
Okay.
box that you see here is what you have to keep pointing. So you just have to point this area to the gray balls
Okay.
and find out the max hotspot of it.
Okay.
Like your basically there will be a point where your intensity will be extremely high, and that's the area where your blue
Yes.
line lies, right? So
Okay.
I personally think that I wanted to keep the S curve in this green region. Okay, so you can see my eye adaptation, the one that I have made possible with the post-process settings that I have in the scene, matches with
Okay.
what Unreal thinks should be the average exposure value for this hotspot here. Okay,
Spot. Okay. Yeah.
so we have a quite good neutral scene. So what we have done here is, so we have this color chart. Again, nothing difficult. You can just get that
Is
content
it
pack itself.
from
Yeah.
engine content?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Perfect.
It's a part of engine content. You just have to go in a static mesh and drop it in the scene. So I've created the copy
Okay.
in the content folder also. So we can take it to any project of our choice. So right now I have a
Mhm.
cine camera actor here. It's capturing this scene and it is sending that data to DaVinci. Start the software.
Software name itself resolve.
It's quite it's quite nice actually to have Resolve working like that. Yes, so
Hmm.
I'll just open the project once. So now that we have this here, I'll just go live. Yep, it's working now.
Yeah, I can see.
So, like I said, we have our Cine camera actor. It's being mounted, sending data back to DaVinci. In the DaVinci, we are on Resolve
Okay.
Live. You can see this is where you're seeing your color chart. In our case, it's a color cube.
Yeah.
Okay. So what ideally you
Right.
might want to do here is,
And without
okay.
any effect or without any filter, right?
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes.
raw feed from
I
Unreal.
forgot to
Okay.
mention, but Unreal Engine in our post process settings, we have turned off tone mapper, we have turned off blue correction, we have turned off vignette.
Okay.
Any kind of effects that we don't want are now
Okay.
switched off,
Just the visual.
including bloom
Nothing,
and
no
lens
more
flare.
effects.
Yes, so we get a very clean feed out from Unreal Engine here. Okay, so what we can do is we have to
Mhm.
just click on this particular node,
Okay.
just go in a color calibration chart, so line it here. Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just like you
And
need to
so
be
you
a
can
bit
see your
approximate.
squares are aligned here. Okay, so
Okay. Yeah.
that's overall what you want at the end. I'll
Okay.
just say match.
Okay.
In our case, we don't have to provide source gamma, target gamma, or anything because by default, I've noticed Resolve is detecting this all good. So the result that comes out is what I'm happy with. I'm going to just say
Okay.
match, and now this looks quite good to me. So you can see this. You see the difference?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It just
We
like
have,
less.
like I said, we did our most of the heavy lifting work in having nice lights and skylight. Okay, due to which our
Okay.
result is quite
Mhm.
amazing. It's just little bit less saturated and less bright. So eventually DaVinci
Right.
has decided while color calibrating to increase the brightness, and I can see my red has
Okay.
also increased. We can read
Yep.
the values here. It says 173 G041 and
And
B052. So
yeah.
I'm quite happy with these values.
Yeah.
So there are few more things that you have to do. I'm not going to take you through the steps, but eventually you have to just match it up with the chart that you have here, I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, this is what I found on the web, getting the colors right with the color checker. Our guy here has nicely mentioned on what the values for red, yellow, magenta sign should be near around. Okay, so you just need to get your values near to them.
This is like ideal values for each colors.
So we have something already done. So in our case, this is the LUT. Sorry, these are the nodes that I've added. Few more tweaks done, and these are the values that we are getting. So red 174, 32, 45. So goes for yellow, green, and these are quite near to what I want from this chart here itself. So I'm happy with these values. So what I've done is, after doing this, I'm just creating a LUT from here. Okay, I'm creating a 65 point cube LUT. I've observed 17 will create some weird artifacts in Unreal Engine, which I'm not quite happy with. So I've created 65. Okay. And that LUT in this case is here. Aditya LUT CCRD. Okay. So we'll go again live. So you can see there is no LUT being applied on it. And now that we have a LUT already created for this scene, we can just drag and drop it here. And you can see, boom, it starts working. Okay. Just to show it to you again. Okay, you can see the difference. Can you see the difference?
Yes, I can see that.
Right. You can see the difference of vector scope also. See?
Yeah,
see that?
I can see that. Yeah.
So I'm quite happy with what is coming out of here. Now what we'll do is we'll take this LUT, we'll import that LUT in Unreal Engine. Okay, I've already imported it. So we have our CC LUT here. Okay. That's our 65 cube LUT. We have to convert it into Unreal Engine supportable LUT here, which is this. Okay, I'm going to go in my post-process volume now. You can see this is still less saturated. We want to correct this, right?
Right.
So we'll go in our post-process volume, the tab which is miscellaneous. In that you will find color grading LUT. I've already dragged and dropped this here. So it's already selected.
Right.
I'm going to turn it on and you will see the effect directly. You see?
Yeah,
this is quite what I want. But just to be clear, the moment you apply the LUT here, few of your values are going to change. You will see the gray has changed. See?
Right.
See that?
Earlier it was 0.18.
Yeah. Now this happens, I think, because Davinci is trying to increase the brightness. Okay, like we saw in this scene, right?
Right.
So maybe that is causing it. But anyways, I think that's something that we'll have to live with, because eventually this is more like closer to what we want at the end in terms of color corrected footage. So I'm quite happy with how this scene is looking right now. And now what artists can do is they can start bringing their arts in. So if they have any kind of tree or something that they want to have in other levels, so they can get it here first, have nice lighting and nice color corrected colors on them. They will get a better idea instead of directly using it inside the scene, right? And this particular data, like we have here in Davinci, which is coming out live, is same that you can use for your virtual production footage. So you can see the scene is already here, and this is quite closer to what we want in the end, and without even having to apply the LUT, right? So just to confirm, we are going to compare this with what we see in Unreal. Unreal out is still missing the LUT. Okay, it seems like the Unreal output won't apply the post-process settings here. Anyways, this will anyways conclude, because we have our own proprietary composer to send the output from the Unreal Engine to the virtual production setup. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think that concludes. Even if you do get a footage out here, you already have the LUT. You can just apply on it, and that's it. You're good to go.
Right.
So the same LUT can be applied on the camera. The same method can be applied on the camera, and we can get a baseline LUT for the camera, and they eventually both of the footages will match. So yeah,
right.
That is it, I guess. So you have any doubts?
Just one. Just one thing.
Yeah.
So what's the purpose of? I mean, as in this purpose of the whole thing, creating a LUT inside DaVinci and applying it again in Unreal.
Correct. See. So once you get the color corrected footage inside DaVinci, right? So for virtual production, you need that color corrected output to be overlaid behind the camera footage, right? So you get the background, then you get the foreground.
Background.
Right?
Yes.
So that background, if you do not have a color corrected background, when you have already color corrected your camera, it won't match properly. For that reason, you have to have a color corrected background being sent out from an SDI to your virtual production setup, so that it can match the background nicely with the foreground, which is your camera layer.
Right.
And that's why we are trying to color correct it. And this same thing can get recorded elsewhere, right? And the team can directly use a color corrected footage out. So it's a plus.
Right. Makes sense. It lessens the manual work.
Correct.
previously that we were doing. Yeah.
Correct. Because we have already color corrected it. Okay, so
Hmm.
the team won't have to do it. The end eventually they will
Right.
have to just grade it, clear out the key maybe a little
Right.
bit, take
Hmm.
both of the recorded footages and
And then
grade it
slam.
accordingly. Yeah, that's it. Slap copy. That's it, and send it to the client.
Yep. Perfect. Looks good. No other question.
Perfect. Okay.